Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. It is Wimbledon 2024 men's draw preview and prediction time. And I cannot wait to get into this one because I myself have been to Wimbledon to the qualifiers. So I'm also going to be there second week as media, fingers crossed. So yeah, I'm going to be heavily invested in this tournament, of course, as I always am, anyways. And I've been up and close, interviewed some really good names, plus also seen a lot of the qualifiers and know what they're about. So hopefully I can give you guys some good insight into what's potentially going to happen and who to look out for. Before we get into the nitty gritty of picking each and every single match and then making our way towards the final and picking our winner, I do want to talk about the projected Wimbledon quarterfinals. Now, this is obviously projected. It's assuming that the seeds go through as they should. Jannik Sinner versus Daniel Medvedev is the first one. The second is Carlos Alcaraz versus Casper Ruud. So top half, pretty strong, and there's a potential Sinner versus Alcaraz semi-final, as we saw at the French Open. Andre Rublev versus Alexander Zverev, and then Hubert Hurkacz versus Novak Djokovic, which, of course, could be a tricky one for Novak, given that even though he said he's looking good or feeling good even, and I saw him practicing in the flesh at Wimbledon, and he looked pretty good. To be fair, his knee was strapped, his elbow was strapped, but he was sliding on that right knee, and I do think, given that he's got a few more days or had a few more days since then to rest, recuperate, heal, and still has a further few more days until he has to play. I'm hoping that he'll be fine, and it looks all positive. Looks like he's going to compete. So that is, of course, fantastic news for the tennis world. Okay, let's get into this draw then and go through each and every single match. Before we do though, some notable omissions. Of course, Rafael Nadal is not playing due to pulling out, so that he didn't want to go from clay to grass to clay. Massive shame, of course, but it is what it is. Also, I was informed that Corentin Moutet has withdrawn, and so it will be lucky loser James Duckworth, who I saw in qualifying. He will replace him, so I'm not sure whether this bracket has updated it. We'll see in a second. So Sinner has Hanfman as the number one seed. Jannik Sinner, he should get through that. Then Berrettini versus Fuchsovich. That's a potential second round opponent for Sinner. In Berrettini, that would be a nightmare in honesty, but we'll go for Berrettini to get through Fuchsovich. He's looked pretty good, actually, in this grass court swing. I saw him practicing as well in the flesh, and look, I mean, he looks near his best, in honesty, and good to see him fit and healthy, and he's always dangerous when he is fit and healthy. Simon Nagel has Kekmanovic. We'll go for Kekmanovic in that one. Carreno Busta against Griekspoor. Griekspoor should get through that. He is the seed in this matchup, and also he's just been playing a lot better than Carreno Busta, and is a very good grass court player. Then we also have Nicholas Jarry, the seed versus Denis Shapovalov. And this is a pretty tough matchup for Nicholas Jarry, in honesty. And this draw, by the way, I had a quick look at it, is so stacked. Like the first round matchups, some of them are insanely good. And when we get into the women's, when I do it in a separate video, I mean, it's even more. I mean, it's just absolute carnage. It's absolute carnage. But anyway, Nicholas Jarry and Denis Shapovalov. I think we're going to have to go for Jarry. Had a decent run, of course. He troubled Alcaraz somewhat last year in the quarterfinal stage, if I'm correct. No, it will be round of 16 because quarterfinals, I think, was Holger Rune and semi-finals was Medvedev. But yeah, he played well against Alcaraz and he's got a good game. I know Shapovalov's good on grass generally, but he's just not been the same the last couple of years, in honesty, and it's been a shame. But maybe he'll be able to rekindle some of that form on the grass. Altmaier and Ferry will have to go for Altmaier, I think, here. Now, Lloyd Harris and Alex Michelsen. Alex Michelsen is a big talent. American talent, of course. Very good all-court game. But Lloyd Harris, I watched him in qualifying. He's looking good. He's looking good. I tell you that. He's confident. He's happy. I spoke to him, did an interview with him. Check out the channel if you want. and I'm going to go with him. Mattia Bellucci, who knocked out David Goffin, lefty, aggressive. David Goffin was the favorite to get through qualifying. It was the final round of qualifying. Bellucci came through. Now, Shelton is also a lefty, of course. Massive serve, we know. Hasn't quite been on form recently. Hasn't performed as well as you'd expect on the grass recently as well in this tournament. There's potential upset. I'm going to go for Shelton to navigate his way through it. Dimitrov should beat Lajovic on grass. And Christian Garin, I also spoke to him as well. And he's playing some really good tennis. Made the quarterfinals of Wimbledon last year, of course. And he's a good player. He's a good player on grass. Of course, normally seen as a clay quarter, but he's a good player on the green stuff. Jun Chang Shang, we also spoke to him, by the way, in Bordeaux. And he's a good young talent. Not sure about his game on grass, though. Not sure how good he is on grass, in honesty. He's not amazing on grass, from what I know. And Christian Garin has got some good results. So we're going to go for Christian Garin. Stan Wawrinka and Charles Broom. I mean, if a wild card was going to be Wawrinka, it'd probably be on grass. It's the only Grand Slam that he's missing in his collection. We'll have Wawrinka to power through. Monfils Manarino. Monfils, I mean, this is a tough one. It's all French affair, and Manarino is good on grass, man. He is good. Such a flat-hitting game and loves to slice and dice it. Gael Monfils, also very good on grass, got an aggressive game. Comes forward, loves to come to the net when he can. I'm going to go for Manarino. Do I go for one? No, Manarino's not been in amazing form, though. I think actually, no, I'm going to change my mind. Monfils. Then we've got Zhang Shenzhen versus Maxime Hanvier. Now, Hanvier, actually, I watched. He beat the number one seed in qualifying, and Teshi Pericard, a young 20-year-old from France, massive serve. These guys played three tiebreakers out of the four sets. The other set was 7-5 to Hanvier. And he's also got a very big serve. I think he's like 6'6", 6'7", looks massive. Kept on talking about Le Maison. I don't know if you've seen the clip, but so I think maybe he wants to buy a house, and he knew if he won, it guaranteed him at least 60K. But I think, look, he's a bit of a quirky character, but he could do something here. But I think Zhang should be too solid. Struff, Marijan, two big hitters. We'll go for Struff, though, on the grass. I like Struff on grass. Gaston Muller. Gaston's just qualified. I'm going to go for Gaston because I do think there is some advantage to playing the qualifiers as long as you haven't gone through a really grueling few matches, and Hugo Gaston hasn't really. Medvedev to beat Kovacevic, and Alcaraz plays another qualifier, Mark Lehal. He's a young talent, really exciting one from Estonia. As much as I would like to say that he can cause Alcaraz trouble, I don't think he will, though. There's just a difference in levels there. Ofner, Vukic, we'll go for Ofner. And then we've got Chorich against another qualifier in Alves, who knocked out Maxim Cressy in the final round of qualifying in 5 sets. We'll go for Chorich. Naldi Tiafoe, that's a fantastic matchup, isn't it? It really is. Wow. I think I'm going to go for Tiafoe. I watched him practice against Djokovic. He looked okay. His returning, though, is really poor. And especially on grass, given the quickness of the surface and just how people are able to really utilize a slice serve, especially from the Jew side if you're a righty out wide. He struggles a lot. He should do better on 10. He's an athletic player. I'm going to go for Matteo Arnaldi to cause the upset there. I'm also going to go for Nakashima to cause the upset. I mean, Baez in this matchup. Thompson to beat Kotov for me. And then Liam Brody has a wild card, but he plays Van der Zandschot. That's quite a tough matchup on grass. I'm going to go for the Dutch player. Shevchenko on Burr should get through it. Tommy Paul, Pedro Martinez. He's a clay quarter really, so Tommy Paul. And he's looked good, of course, won a title recently. Qualifier in Vertenen versus Max Purcell, go for Max Purcell. And someone who I've interviewed as well, Zizou Bergs, plays Arthur Cajal. He's a good young French player, isn't he? Great talent. But I'm liking the way Zizou Bergs has been playing, especially in qualifying, and made a decent run at the French Open. So we'll go for Bergs to get through that. Jakub Mensik versus Bublik on grass. I mean, Bublik all day, every day. Just love him on grass. I think he's such a good talent on grass, that is. Navon and Sonego. I think Sonego on grass, got to go for him. If it was on clay, maybe Navon. RBA versus Martorera. Go for RBA. Fognini Kepfer. Doesn't really matter to own both players. Not going to go particularly far, given that grass isn't really their favourite surface. But Fognini's had some decent results on grass in the past. Rune against Alex Bolt. This is, by the way, is upset alert. Honestly, Alex Bolt could knock out Casper Ruud. He was an alternate, by the way, Bolt, and he's come through and he's managed to qualify. He'll be hungry. And Casper Ruud, look, we all know what it's about. He doesn't play any warm-up tournaments before Wimbledon. Might play the Hurlingham Club, exhibitions, or one or two. And that's it. That's it. The guy just doesn't think that it's worth his time. And if that's your mindset, then you're never going to do very well on it, right? So, look, I think he's generally a really nice guy, and I have a lot of time for him. But when it comes to grass, it's just his mindset is just it's mind-boggling. It really is mind-boggling. Anyway, we're going to go for. I'm going for Alex Bolt to cause the upset qualifier. Rublev and Komesan will go for Rublev. Walton to beat Korea. We're going to go for Choinsky to beat Darderi. Musetti to beat Lestian. I've been impressed with how Musetti's been playing on grass recently. I'm happy about that. Korda and Dodic Fokino will go for Korda. He should get through that. It could be a 5-setter, I'll tell you that. Nishioka and Nuno Borges will go for Nishioka. And Rusevori to beat McDonald. Tsitsipas to beat Taro Daniel. Fritz to beat O'Connell. And Rindenek to beat Nishikori. Hijikata to beat Kaboli. Dan Evans to Bilo. Tabilo's had a good week. I'm pretty sure he just won a title. He had no, he's playing the final tomorrow. In Mallorca, beat Monfils, Mensik, Shevchenko. Surprised he's doing so well on grass. I'm impressed, to be honest. Very impressed. Queens, he lost to Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul went on to win it, so he did beat Dowling Fokina in the first round. Tough matchup. We'll go for Dan. We'll go for Dan Evans. Also interviewed, well, I did a presser with him as well. So attended the press conference for him. There wasn't me, it was Flo. Jack Draper and Elias. I will go for Draper. I'm a qualified. You know, he's definitely not a slouch, but Draper should be too strong. He's been looking good recently. Nori and Diaz Acosta. Nori. Giron to get through Harry Sell, the wild card. Zverev to beat Carlos Bayana. Hakash beat Radu Albert. Fields and Strucker. I mean, this is definitely a potential banana skin for Arthur Fields. I'm going to go for Dominic Stricker, actually. Murray Machak, I mean... Thomas Machak must be thinking... Well, Murray must be thinking, what in the world? What is happening here? Because... I mean, I guess he could have got a much worse draw, let's just say that. To be fair, but the head-to-head is what with these two, because they played a few times. Excuse me. Yeah, Machak's won both. Miami this year, Marseille this year as well. Both on hard court, but still. I think he'll do it again. I hate to say it, but I think he will. Srundalo to beat Safiullin. Now, Felix Auger-Aliassime and Kokkinakis. This is a potential banana skin for FA. We're going to go for... Felix. Pui, the qualifier, to beat Zher. Billy Harris to beat Munar, wild card. Alex Dimona, there you go, James Duckworth. Yeah, lucky lose. I mean, Dimona's been playing well. So, I think even if it was Muta, I think Dimona would have won. Holger Rune to beat Sun Wukong. Jub to beat Say Both Wild, so with Wilch even. Quinton Hallis interviewed him, qualifier. Came through, beating Zukayev in the final round. Big serving Kazakh. Eubanks is too good on grass, though, you'd expect. Hachanov to beat Karatsev, and Echeverry to beat Nardi. Popperin to beat Montero, and Morikanis qualifier to beat Fernley. He looked good, by the way, Morikanis. Beat Fosenka, the young Brazilian player, in the first round of qualifying. And then Djokovic has another qualifier in Kopriva, but Djokovic should be way too strong for him. Should be. Right, round 2. Let's get through these. Sinner Berrettini, look, I mean, this is a nightmare second round for Sinner, by the way. Absolute nightmare. Berrettini could take a set, could take 2 sets, he could even win. But Sinner playing the level he's playing at the moment, he should be too much for Berrettini. So I'm going to go for Sinner. Greek Sport to beat Kekmanovic. Jarry to beat Altmaier. I'm going to go for Lloyd Harris to beat Shelton, you know. I'm going to go for Dimitrov to beat Garin. Monfils to beat Wawrinka. Strutt to beat Zhang. Medvedev to beat Gaston. Alcaraz to beat Offner. Chorich to beat Arnaldi. I'm going to go for Jordan Thompson to beat Nakashima. I'm going to go for Bird to beat Van der Schulp. Tommy Paul to beat Max Purcell. Bublik to beat Bergs. Sonego to beat RBA. Fognini to beat Alex Bolt. Andre Rublev to beat Adam Martin. Musetti to beat Choinsky. Korda to beat Nishioka. Tsitsipas to beat Rusevori. Fritz to beat Rinderknecht. Dan Evans, Hijikata. Go for Dan Evans. Jack Draper to beat Cam Norrie. By the way, that is a nightmare second round for Jack Draper, Cam Norrie, by the way. Another lefty as well. And Cam Norrie's made a semi-final of Wimbledon, so it's not an easy draw for Jack. I'll tell you that. That's for sure. But Cam hasn't been playing very well recently, so he should get through it. Hard second round for Zverev in Giron, by the way. He's been playing some good tennis, but we'll go for Zverev. Hurkacz to beat Stricker. Sorino to beat Machak. Phoenix to beat Pui. Demoner to beat Billy Harris. Holger Rune to beat Paul Jubb. Hatchon should beat Eubanks. Alexei Popperin to beat Echeverry for me. And Djokovic to beat Morikanis. Sinner to beat Greek Sport. This is third round now. Jarry Lloyd Harris. Ooh, who do I pick? Jarry. Dimitrov to beat Monfils. Medvedev to beat Struff. No, you don't want to go for Struff to beat Medvedev. Cause the upset. I just think his game on this surface, he should have a lot of success. And Medvedev standing further back as well. I think he can take it. Alcaraz should beat Chorich. Bird to beat Thompson. I'm going to go for Bublik to beat Tommy Paul. Massive game. Sonego to beat Fognini. Musetti to beat Rublev, I'm going to go for. Korda to beat Tsitsipas. That's a big one, isn't it, from me? Big call, but I'm going for it. Fritz to beat Dan Evans. Sorry, excuse me. Jack Draper's draw is horrific. Cam Norrie's second round and then third round Zverev. He could beat Zverev, by the way, on grass. He really could. I'm going for it. I'm going for Draper to beat Zverev. What a big call that is. Hurkacz beat Sorundolo. And I'm going to go for Dimoner to beat Felix. Rune to beat Hachanov. Well, that's a tough third round for Rune. That's for sure. He could easily lose that. Easily. Djokovic to beat Popperin. Big serving American, of course. Sorry, Australian even. Round of 16. Here we go. Okay, so Sinner Jarry. I'm going to go for Sinner. It's a tough round of 16 match, though. Of course, we saw Alcaraz in the same position last year, but navigated his way through, lost a set. Sinner should win that. Struff Dimitrov. Struff could beat Dimitrov on grass. He really could. But Dimitrov has been playing too well the last year or so, and he's also very, very good on grass. Alcaraz should beat Umber. Bublik should beat Sonego. Korda should beat Musetti. Jack Draper, Fritz. I think Fritz might be too much. Her catch, Dimna, her catch. Holger Rune, Djokovic. I mean, look, if it was another surface like clay or hardcore, I'd say this could be a real big banana skin for Djokovic. But on grass, I don't think it is. So Djokovic. That leaves us with quarterfinals of Sinner Dimitrov, Alcaraz Bublik, Korda Fritz, and her catch Djokovic. Sinner to beat Dimitrov, Alcaraz to beat Bublik, Korda to beat Fritz. I'm going to go for her catch and Djokovic. Don't go for, because I don't see Novak winning Wimbledon despite his draw not being too bad until really this stage. I just have a feeling that her catch might be able to put out of the bag, given that I still don't think Djokovic is 100%. Then I'm going to go for Sinner to beat Alcaraz, her catch to beat Korda. Leaves us with a Sinner her catch final. And I want to go for Jannik Sinner to be victorious at SW19. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Do appreciate it. Remember to hit that like button. Do subscribe if you're new. Do leave a rating or review if you're listening on a podcast platform. We appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you put in the comment section below who is going to win the title and why. And if it's anyone other than Sinner, I will argue in the chat. Okay, thanks. Cheers, guys. Bye, and have a good rest of the day.